This conference will now be recorded.
So what was the last thing we were doing? Yes, Chinmay,
Sir,
what was the
sir,
last thing
we,
we were doing?
sir, we were seeing how to export the tally data, sir.
Correct. Okay. We saw how to export tally data. Any doubt so far? Any concept not clear? You ask me. Anything to be briefed again? You tell. Shall we go to next chapter?
Yes, sir.
So we'll discuss taxation. Okay. With this background, okay, we are in a position to record, do invoicing, all those things. Fine. So write down the heading taxation. For that, I'll show you a presentation. Whatever you feel like important, you can always copy. Okay. I'll show the presentation. So before that, I said taxation. So let me just get a, what is that? I would like to know till what level or what you know about taxation. Fine. In our country, how many types of taxes are there? I'll repeat the question. In India,
Income
how
tax,
many? Yeah, please listen. I'll just do again. In
goods and
India,
service.
how many types of taxation system are there? Sanjana came up with some answer. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
I've taken it to higher level now. So in our country, how many types of taxation system do you think exist?
Sir, is it direct tax, indirect tax, and other
Yes,
three or four, I guess.
yes, Chinmay, good. Okay, there are only two types of taxation system in our country. It cannot be more than that. It is either direct or indirect. You please make a note also, that will help you. So in our country, there are two types of taxation system: direct tax, indirect tax. What do you think is direct tax, or why a particular tax is called direct?
The tax which is directly paid by us.
Yes, yes, Sanjana, you are right. Okay, so directly paid by person. See, person means not individual. See, as per IT Income Tax Act, person means individual, HUF, company, partnership, association of person, body of individual. Okay, so they're all person. Okay, so you pay tax directly to the government. Okay, if you decode the direct thing, that's what it is. There is a formal definition for this. Okay, I would like to give you. Can you give some example for direct tax?
In-
What are the direct taxes in our country?
Income
Income
tax.
tax,
Correct.
property tax.
Yeah. Okay. So the major direct taxes are income tax. There is something called TDS. There is gift tax. Okay. So these are all direct taxes. Why it is direct? You write down the definition now. If the incidence and impact is on the same person,
So
it
can
is
you repeat
called,
again?
yeah, if the incidence and impact is on the same person, it is direct tax. What I mean by that, I'll explain. See, there is one Mr. A. He earns his income, let us say he is salaried. He is employed in a company. He is paid salary. Okay. So at the end of the financial year, he is getting salary every month. Let us say 40,000 is a salary. He is getting salary every month. Now in March, end of March, 12 months, 40,000 into 12, 4 lakh 80 is the income he has earned. So now he has to declare his income. Now the last date for filing income tax is what all earned in one from one, what all earned in 1/4/22 till 31/3/23. Okay, he has to pay the tax before 31 July 23. So what he has earned in 22/23, 1/4/22 to 31/3/23, he has to pay the tax before 31/7/23. So what he will do, from April the thing will start. He will start collecting the data. Okay, he'll start collecting the data. What all income he has earned, whether if he has a flat or a house and he has given it on rent. So there is income from rent, income from house property, like that this person has income from various sources. So you will add up all the things, you will get gross total income. Depending on his income, he is going to pay, he is going to calculate the tax. Depending on the tax liability, he is going to pay. So what happened here, he himself declared this is my income. Okay, no government officer came to his house to tell me what is your salary, what is your this one. Nobody asked him. He himself declared this is my salary, and he himself can calculate. If he is little bit sensible guy, he can calculate. There are tax slabs. He'll apply the tax slab and come to know the tax liability, and the tax has to go from his SB account, Mr.'s SB account, which is linked to Aadhaar, which is linked to PAN. Mr. A's brother or Mr. A's sister cannot pay tax for Mr. A. It has to go from Mr. A's account linked to PAN. So that is the meaning of incidence, impact, and incidence. So he himself declared, he himself calculated, he himself paid the amount. That's why it is direct tax, in income tax. Okay. So Sanjana and Chinmay, they already said that. But I just gave a correct, maybe more broader look at the thing. So that is one side. So we discuss, I just define if the incidence and impact is on the same person, it is direct tax, income tax, TDS, what is that? Gift tax, examples for direct tax. On the contrary, that is indirect tax. Incidence and impact not on the same person. Okay. So what happened? See, for example, my company is NICT Computer Education. We give software training service. Okay. NICT, we provide service, software training. Yes, a student came to NICT. She said, I want to pursue a certificate course in Tally. Example. I'm telling you example. So we said that the counselor told her it will cost you 10,000 plus GST. Because what we provide at NICT, the software training, is a taxable service. We have to collect tax. That is what is GST. Goods and services tax. Okay. So the student agreed. Now how much she has to pay? She has to pay 10,000 towards course fee. 18% is the GST for this kind of service. So 18% is 1,800. She is going to pay 11,800 to us. The student is going to pay 11,800. So what we do at our office is we will maintain two columns in Excel sheet. Okay, student 1, student A, course fee 10,000, GST 1,800. Like that we go on recording all the students. Some student joined for MS Office, some student joined for multimedia, programming language, like that. So we maintain two columns. One is course fee, another is GST. The GST total we will add up at the end of the month. Okay. And that we have to deposit to GST department before 20th of the following month. So what all we collected in the month of July, before 20th August, we have to deposit to the GST department. So this is what is indirect. The student paid the tax, NICT collected, the service provider, NICT collected from the student. and remitted to the department. That's why it is called indirect tax. All of you got this? Pallavi, Nagesh, would you like to say something? If it is not, no problem. It is not mute, you can mute. Or if you want to talk, you can unmute and talk, no problem. I'm not getting any disturbance as such. But your name is flashing here, no problem. All of you got the definition of direct and indirect tax, differentiation of direct and indirect tax,
Yes, sir.
definition of GST. Okay, now I'll show you the presentation. So we'll start with indirect tax. First we'll discuss indirect tax, then we'll come to direct tax. So please write taxation, indirect tax, under that you write GST. So what is GST? You tell you in your own words. You bought mobile phone, you bought laptop, you paid GST. What is GST? You decode the words. SBI, State Bank of India. What is GST?
Tax on goods and services.
Goods service tax.
Sanjana again. Little bit loudly.
The tax on
Goods
goods and
service
services.
tax.
Chinmay, you tell me. What is GST? Others, you can take part, but you have to be more loud. You have to be louder.
Sir, it
Anybody?
is tax on the goods and services paid by the customers, sir.
Yeah. So, what is GST? SBI is State Bank of India. What is GST? Simple question.
Goods service tax.
Goods and service tax.
Yes. Both of you are wrong. That's why I'm just stuck up in this for last 2 minutes. Okay, say they are called acronyms. Okay, SBI, what is that? LIC, Life Insurance Corporation. So GST is not goods and service tax. It is, please note, it is goods and services tax. If you say goods and service tax, it seems there is only one service, for that there is tax. It is not so. There are as many as 200 services which are taxable. So that's why it is goods and services tax. Goods, you made it plural because for laptop, for mobile phone, for refrigerator, goods plural you made. When it came to service, you did not say services, you said service. That is not correct. Note that point. It is goods and services tax. Fine. As I told you, I'll be showing a presentation. I will start. Okay, all of you are seeing the presentation. So whichever you feel important or you feel like noting, please note down. If you want to take a snap, whichever you feel like taking, you can take. Ultimately, you have to know the things. Go through this. It is the fifth line. GST Council, not Council. There is spelling error. It is GST Council. So it is a forum, okay, where all the state finance ministers are the members. Union finance minister is the chairperson. So they meet every quarter, okay, once in 3 months they meet. What all they want to put it across, what all difficulty they have, they will discuss it in the council meeting. Union finance minister is the chairperson. She will proceed the meeting. Who is union finance minister? Who is union finance minister? Union finance minister of India.
Nirmala Sitaraman.
Okay. So she is the chairperson. She will preside over the meeting. You got that. We'll go a little bit forward. Now, this is an important definition. You can note down. If somebody at an interview or if somebody asks you generally what is GST, you don't just decode the words. You just give one sentence. What is it? Answer in a paragraph. Like this. At any point in time, if you are not understood any previous concept which I briefed you, you have to bring to my notice. You tell me, okay, any topics covered so far Any difficulty you faced, you have to address it to me. You should practice. You should create a company. What all I've done, at least 2 times, twice you have to do. You have to do. If you have any doubt, any query, you make a note and address it to me. So, what are the benefits of GST? Important. Write down how it benefits each stakeholder, business and industry, how it benefits. See, there is something called cascading. Cascading is, you can make a small note, it is tax on tax. Okay, that is removed in GST. In the earlier system, in the earlier regime, okay, the earlier system, there were something called state tax, VAT, one of the major state tax, central tax, there was excise duty, there was something called service tax. Okay, so there were state taxes, there were central taxes. A good used to suffer tax at 2 point. Okay, the second, the end stage, the tax is calculated on a good which has already suffered tax. So that's how it became cascading. One tax, okay, applying on one more tax. So that is removed in GST. So now how it benefits government? I told you all the stakeholders are benefited. So how it helps the government? Let us see. So now in GST, you are supposed to upload all your sale. There is something called GSTR1. Okay, the report of sale, outward supply. All the sales you have made, you have to upload. We'll come to that. We'll discuss that in depth. Okay. Is the screen visible?
No, sir.
No,
What happened suddenly? I'll check. Yeah. So all the stakeholders are benefited. So it is a win-win situation for all the people, for business industry, for government, for end customer like I and you. So many occasion at campus interview, taxation is one of the favorite topic. Okay, they will ask you about GST. Then next we'll be learning something in direct tax, TDS. Those are the things they normally expect you to know. So we have just what is that? We have just done the map topic covered. So incidentally, this presentation is prepared way back in 2017. So current means what? In our presentation, current means pre-GST. As I told you, it was prepared way back in 2017. Since it is good, we retain the same presentation now also. I do present the same thing now also. But current system means that is pre-GST. That you have it in your mind. This just read once, that's all. So we'll see each one of them. So these are the topics covered in this presentation. Milestone. How an idea became an act. First they will draft the things. Okay, how the GST law should be. That is called. So it started way back in 2016. So it took 1 year to become an act. See, it has to pass in parliament, get the approval of President of India, then only a draft will become an act. See this, what is the various stages it has to go. GK, general knowledge. Okay, so in 2016 all these things happened. Okay, government was, okay, BJP government was bent upon getting GST in place. That's why they took it strongly and saw that it will be implemented. Make a note of this. GST rates. There is exempt 5%, 12%, 18, 28. That you have to make a note. These are the GST rate. majority of the items, they fall under 18%. You know, if you buy a mobile phone, you buy a laptop, 18% is a somewhat common rate. 5% medicine, textile. Okay. 28% is for luxury goods. Okay, if you buy a dishwasher, let us say you buy a dishwasher or wooden furniture, maybe teak wood, it's considered as a luxury. They will charge 28% GST. Packaged cheese, all those things, 12% is a GST. So they are all finalized, and the kickoff date, the start date of GST is 1st July 2017. Remember this? July 1st is a GST day. Okay, we'll go a little bit further. Is the presentation interesting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take the full benefit of this. You should know not just transaction, you should also know theory behind what you are doing. See, who is a CA? I'll tell you just 1 minute. Okay, CA is a person who is strong in accountancy and taxation. That's where you'll have an edge. Okay, so taxation is very important. So this is current taxation. If you're reading, that is pre-GST. I told you presentation was made in 2017. Presentation was prepared back in 2017 before GST came to limelight. So there were some queries. Do you conduct a course on GST like that? So we did this presentation. We found it good. We are still retaining the same presentation. So earlier, pre-GST, there was something called central tax, state tax. We are discussing indirect. Okay, these were the central taxes. Focus should be on indirect tax. Okay, all these things, the right hand side, indirect tax, they got merged and became one GST, which is central legislation. So there were central taxes, state taxes, all merged and became one GST. Direct tax remained the same. Of course, just for your this one, wealth tax is no more there. That you have to eliminate that. In direct under direct tax, you include TDS, TCS. We'll discuss them. So focus is on indirect tax. Direct tax exclude wealth tax. It is abolished. You include there TDS and TCS, major direct taxes. So this is the chart. You need not specifically remember this indirect tax thing, all those things, excise duty, custom, because these are no more there. But as an academic interest, we can always know. So they existed, that's all. It's no more there. We'll go ahead. This also not, just have a look, doesn't make you need not know, because the things are not there. Why you should know? Leave it. I'll just go through the. I'll just come to the immediate. Now these are still, of course. Don't forget. 1 minute. Let me tell you. Wow. See now this one, state tax. Okay, all the things did not get merged. Okay. See, for example, property tax still it is not under GST. Okay. Electricity duty. Okay. Electricity duty. See, you see KEB bill, there is no GST. Whereas you see BSNL bill, there is GST services. Okay. So like that, we come down. This is important test question. Make a note. Kindly make a note of this. You should know. So these goods are not covered under GST. Petroleum products are not covered under GST. Alcoholic liquor for human consumption. Power sector. Just I was mentioning about KEB. Okay. So as I told you, in KEB bill you don't see GST. So they are not covered under GST. See, all
Sir,
of
can you
you.
show the last slide?
Yeah. Power sector. Try to remember this. They'll ask, okay, what are the items not covered under GST? So these are the goods for which there is no GST. We will take 2 minute break. We'll come back. Yes, dear students, till this point things are clear. We will go further. So there is something called cess. Very briefly. Okay. See, to discourage consumption of this tobacco, gutka, pan masala, all those things. Okay. In in taxation, they're called sin products. Negative list. Okay, to discourage consumption of this, they they will charge cess. Okay, cess is basically, it is a Greek word. It is not an English word. Okay, it means tax on tax. Okay, see, I'll show you now. Little bit. I'll show it to you. See, let us say there is something called assessable value. You'll understand. Okay, not too technical. Assessable value. All of you be attentive. Assessable value is rupees 100. Let us say we are doing a tax calculation. So IT income tax is 10%. 10%. So what is 10% of 100? Sanjana, Miss Sanjana,
Yes, sir.
what is 10% of 100?
10, sir.
10 rupees is the tax. So now what is the value? It is 110. Let us say cess is say 20%. Now this 20% is calculated not on 110. this 20% to be calculated on 10. So the definition of cess is what? It is a tax on tax. Now, what is 20% of 10? Miss Chinmay?
22, sir.
No, it's okay. Relax. You don't quite get the question. I'll tell you. What is 20% of 10? I told you, cess is what? It's a tax on tax. This is a tax. Now, this is not the value. Okay, this is a figure arrived after adding one tax, let us say income tax. Now, cess is a tax on tax. So, that is a thing. What is 20% of 10? Understand the concept. Figures you will see.
2, sir.
So, yeah, that's all. Okay. See, what is not correct? What is 10% of 10? 1. 20% is 2. Yes, Chinma, you are right. 2. Okay, I just lost the concentration. So, 2 is the cess. So, now the entire thing is 112. So, that's what the meaning of cess. Now, this you will do if when you're in 5th semester, you will do IT calculation, okay, some more things, then you'll come to know. We'll discuss at depth. You'll be calculating all those things. Fine. So that is what the meaning of says. So what happened here? So to discourage consumption of these goods, they charge cess. So the goods will become more costly. It will become costlier. So the intention is to discourage this. So now little bit further we'll go. So this slide is more important. Okay. See, in GST, the term is, as you see in the second bullet mark, arrow mark, supply. In GST, the term is supply. It can be goods or service. For sale, it is outward supply. That is, it can be sale of goods or sale of service. If it is inward supply, that is purchase of goods or purchase of service. That's what the second arrow is showing. The third bullet point, GST in India will be dual system. State and center together will levy the tax on supply of goods or service. I told you some time back, okay, in the earlier regime, that is in pre-GST era, there were state taxes, central taxes. As you know, GST is central legislation. So there, the VAT, all those things, they got merged in GST. VAT was a state subject, was a state tax. So they all got merged in GST, which is a central tax, the central legislation. So now states are left with no tax. Okay, earlier they used to run the government, state used to run the government, the collection of VAT. Now, since it got merged in GST, they'll not be getting that VAT. Okay. So to compensate that, what government did was we'll have sharing because state will be left with no tax. The VAT got merged in GST. So they said we'll share. That's why you said if the mobile phone is 18%, there is 89% CGST, 9% SGST. Central government got 50%, state government is compensated by 50%. That's why GST in India will be a dual system. Going a little bit further, why GST? Let us see. This you saw, okay, simple tax structure, cascading elimination of that cascading effect, technology driven system. Technology driven means I told you GST is a basically what is GST? It is a big server. Okay, so it's designed by Infosys. GST server is designed by Infosys. Okay, so you have to upload all your sales. That is called GSTR one. We'll see that when you take up transaction, when you start doing invoicing, we'll note all those things. Repetition, no problem. So there is something called intrastate, that is within state. Interstate is between state. Transaction happening between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, let us say Bangalore and Chennai, it is interstate. Highlights of GST. Common threshold limit across the country. We'll see what is this threshold limit. That is a turnover criteria. So this is more, yeah, GST is a 15-digit number. So it will also have PAN in that registration number. So this you can appreciate more when you know the previous tax regime. For you it is just of academic interest, that's all. Okay, this particular slide. So there were forms. There was something called C form, F form for branch transfer. C form was for interstate CST, concessional rate 2% something. H form, there was something called form H for exports. It's not there. It's no more there. Don't worry. That's all. You need not know also. So this is important. All of you make a note of this. Registration threshold limit. what is the turnover criteria for registration of GST? Very important. Please write. Make a note. I told you this presentation was prepared way back in 2016-17. Okay, you are not seeing the text there inside. I 1 minute. Oh, there is missing. Something is missing here. Yes, sir. 1 minute. Yeah. If I take it as a current slide, it is not refreshing. Take down this one only. Registration threshold limit, that is turnover criteria for regular dealer. So India is divided into two on particular parameter. Okay, there are special category state. The rest of the other one is rest of India. Special category state. What is the change you have to make is this 10 you make it 20, 20 you make it 40. Turnover criteria. This is a turnover criteria for special category state. If the turnover per annum, if the turnover of the business per year is more than 20 lakhs, for rest of India it is more than 40 lakh, we have to take GST registration compulsory. GST registration is mandatory if it exceeds this turnover limit. See, I have a business, Harish Traders. Let us say I have a trading business. Harish Furnitures. Okay, first we are discussing Harish Furniture in the beginning, starting class, first class, very first class. So my business is 35. My turnover for the year is 35 lakh. My turnover is 35 lakh. So I need not get registered. Only if my turnover crosses 40 lakh per year, I will take the registration. If I'm in, I'm there. That's all. I can't come out. So this is an important not interview question. Okay, if the interviewer happens to what is that is focused on GST, you would like to know things from you pertaining to taxation, there is a chance likelihood of asking this question: what is the turnover criteria, turnover limit for registration of GST? At that point in time, you can tell this is the 40 lakh is the turnover criteria. So going further, we'll see what is a GST registration number format. I'll show you that slide. Please write down important. What is the GST registration number format? So GST number is a 15-digit alphanumeric number. Okay. First to happen to be, please write down heading structure of GST registration number. You can see on the roadside, if any business, if they are registered under GST, they would have displayed the registration on the board. Okay, left bottom corner or left top corner, they would have displayed the GST registration number. It will run 15, it is 15 digit number. Everywhere you will see 29 GST numbers starting everywhere in Bangalore or in Karnataka. It starts with 29 because GST state code for Karnataka is 29. What is PAN? GK. Do you have PAN? Anybody who has PAN? Or what do you think is PAN?
Personal account.
Little bit loud. Somebody's
Personal account number.
come again.
Personal account number.
Naurin, Miss Naurin, you are wrong.
Sir, is it permanent account number? It is.
Yes, yes, Miss Chinmay, it is permanent account number. Do you have one? Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
Who has PAN thing? PAN card? Okay. Fatima Nourin has. Chinmay has. Miss Chinmay, why did you get the PAN card done? What was the necessity? All of you? GK, general
ATM
knowledge.
card.
Miss Nourin, why did you make PAN card? What was the necessary?
So for creating an account,
Yes,
bank
Miss
account.
Shreya. Yeah. See, if you want to open a
So,
bank account, they will ask for PAN. Okay, permanent account number. If you want to operate your SB account, if you want to operate your SB account, you need SB account number. Similarly, if you want to communicate with income tax department, if you want to communicate with IT department, IT department will recognize Chinmay or Miss Nourin not by their name but by their PAN. So PAN is for communicating with IT department. So that is what the first two digits state code, next 10 PAN, 13th is number of businesses of the entity. Number of business of the entity. Just hold on 1 minute. the better thing. Okay, so the 15 digit, the first two digit are, I told you, state code, Karnataka 29, 33 Tamil Nadu, 24 Gujarat. No problem, you will get it in Google, list of state code, GST state code. Next 10 is PAN number. The 13th digit, number of businesses of the entity. Very important, is a MCQ question. What is the 13th digit in GST registration number signify? So 13th digit, see here, this is number of business of the entity. You please check up tomorrow itself when you're going on the roadside or when you have any invoice. It is normally one. The business would have registered for one type of business. For example, I told you our company, we do software training. So the 13th digit is 1. I'll share the number with you. I'll just share the number when I'm doing transaction. 13th digit is 1. Suppose our management felt we'll have one more business, NICT mobile. NICT mobiles. We'll start selling mobile phones also along with our software training business. So then we have to re-register. We have to apply to the government GST department telling there is an addition of business. So we are adding one more business to our entity. So they'll send a fresh certificate. I can't just score one and make it two. So government GST department is going to send me a fresh certificate wherein the 30 digit will be 2. Got that all of you? Simple. This 14th and last two digit are server related. Okay, you know, after all, what is GST? It's a big server. Okay, see, just I've given small parallels here. What is Amazon? It's a big server. That's all. Okay, there is no shop called Amazon. Okay, it's a big server. You place your order through computer online, they'll deliver it to you. Like that, GST is a big server. You have to upload to the server everything, all what are the required things, invoice, sale invoice, etc. Like that. So it will be doing many. There will be many. What is that? Many people accessing. Okay, what is that? Communicating with the server. So it requires some calibration. It will be doing some calibration. For that, the last two digits are reserved. That's how the GST registration number is a big number, 15 digit number. Okay, if you happen to have any invoice of any shopping you have made, anything, just have a look. Okay, so we'll stop at this stage. Okay, we'll continue with the presentation tomorrow and take up transaction also. In the meantime, all of you have to practice. Any doubt, note it down. You ask me in the tomorrow's class. Okay, see all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, miss.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, miss. Welcome, miss.